Hello, everybody, and welcome back. In the light of what happened between Will Smith and Chris Rock this past Sunday at the Oscars, I wanted to talk about toxic relationships. So, I don't know Will Smith personally, but from what I've observed throughout the years, he's been a really, really cool and nice guy, especially when you compare him to other Hollywood personalities. That's why it was so surprising when he acted the way he acted and he went out and slapped Chris Rock in public and acted violently and aggressively. I understand that he was trying to defend his wife's honor, but I don't really believe that that's what that really was all about. I believe that there were a lot of underlying issues that caused this event to happen the way it did. So Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's head being shaven and said that he can't wait to watch G.I. Jane Part 2. Now, in G.I. Jane Part 1 with Demi Moore, she shaves her head, and that's why he made the joke. And apparently, Chris Rock didn't know that Jada Pinkett Smith suffers from an issue where a woman starts to lose her hair, or the hair doesn't grow back or something like that, which is why she shaves it now. And I believe that perhaps if Chris Rock did know, he probably wouldn't make the joke. Now, I think that it's not important whether Chris Rock knew or didn't know or whatever. I think the important thing here is the way it was handled, okay? That's the thing to look at. So if Will Smith truly had an issue with this and he needed to defend his wife's honor and he needed to go up there and he needed to say something, he could have went up there, and Chris Rock didn't even see the hit coming. He just thought that he was going to, say something, and kind of like how when Kanye went to interrupt Taylor Swift at the MTV Awards that one time. So, and if Will Smith really needed to say something, he could have grabbed the mic and said, look, this is the situation. It was insensitive for Chris Rock to make a joke like that. And that, perhaps he should, even be ashamed for doing so, or something along those lines. And I think that's the proper way to do it. If he truly needed to go up there and say something, it would have been a lot more diplomatic of him, and I think that he would have been praised for doing so, and he would have gotten to defend his wife's honor in a diplomatic way rather than a violent way. So when the joke was made, Will Smith looked fine. He was even laughing. And then he looked over to his wife, Jada, and he saw that she was not happy with it. She was just not, amused at all. So he acted on it, okay, out of nowhere, like rapidly. And he just, and I think this is where the underlying issues come in. So in the past, Jada publicly mentioned, right, to everybody that she has an open relationship with Will Smith and she just sleeps around with other men. And I think one of those men actually happened to be her son's friend. So you have that, so, and then you also have Will admitting in the past that he could never live up to Tupac because of the late Tupac's relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith. They grew up together, and she just had that love for him, and Will Smith always felt intimidated, almost like no matter what he did, he was just never enough. Okay, that's what it just seemed like. And then the past few years, Will was kind of a laughingstock throughout the country with the whole Jada Pinkett Smith sleeping around, and he gained weight, and he was crying. They made memes about him crying. I guess he cried in an interview or whatever. So all of that toxicity boiling up, I think that Chris Rock's joke was just the straw that broke the camel's back. And it's almost as if Will Smith just needed to prove to everyone that night that he wasn't a joke and that he shouldn't be messed with. And all of this happened on Chris Rock's expense. And by the way, I think Chris Rock handled himself very well, as as well as he could have handled the situation. And I applaud him for staying professional and continuing with the show. So bravo to Chris Rock. He was just flawless with that, with the way he handled these things, pretty much. So having said all that, I think that, in my opinion, from what I've observed, Will is in a toxic relationship with Jada, and he deserves better. And anybody in that situation deserves better. He's always been a nice guy. And it feels like she just brought out the worst in him that night. And that's when he slapped Chris Rock in public in front of millions of people in a classy award ceremony like the Oscars and cursed at him. Okay? And this is why people shouldn't be around toxic people or toxic situations. There are a handful of people that have mentioned that when they left a toxic relationship or a toxic situation, their life just changed for the better and they were a lot happier. Now, look, maybe Will puts up with all of this because he truly loves Jada, okay? But, sometimes love just isn't enough to, of a reason to stay. And look, maybe I don't know enough about the relationship, and it's more complicated. Fine, I get it. But I was just talking about what I've observed and how other people can relate based off of this observation. And that isn't, it just isn't worth being with somebody who doesn't appreciate you and takes you for granted, even if you really, really love them. And that's it. So please, if you have an opinion, I would love to hear from you. Write in the comments, and I would love to read it. If you like this, please give me a like, and please subscribe to my network. And until next time.